Welcome to Breaking Fears.
Okay. So here I am talking, and I forgot to turn on my new mic. And you'll see as I turn it on later on in this video. So, what I have to do is basically talk and add this in because I'm sitting here talking. And you're like, what is he talking about? Watch, I'll stop and you'll see me talking and you don't hear anything. Okay. So, first, I want to say hello, everybody. How are you doing? Yes, I made a boo boo and I forgot to turn on my new mic. I'm hoping that this mic is good. I might. It's a wireless mic, and you'll hear it in the video later on. But these are the changes that I said I was going to do, and one of them was to change this mic out. So what this video is going to be about today is the fear of spending a lot of money during these cold times, as well as the fear of what should you do during these cold times? What extra things can you do during these cold times? And I'm going to go through 10 or so, but you'll notice that I lose count and uh and lose where I was at with my count as you see as this video go on. So with that being said, you will see or not see, but you will hear more of the video as I'm really filming the video, not me talking over the video and watching me just do a bunch of movement around and stuff. And what I'm saying here is not matching what I'm my mouth movement right now. So I also want to say yes, I am wearing a blanket and a little like pullover. The pullover that I have on, the black one, the brown one, the tan one is a actual blanket. The black one is like this little hoodie, well not hoodie, this little pullover thing. I don't like it. I did order it because I thought it was going to be like a robe, very very long robe that covers your feet and stuff. It's not that long. It does cover your legs, but you have to put it on front, and the opening is in the back. I don't like that. I do not like that. I didn't send it back because I figure why not? I'll figure out how to use it some way somehow. I'll use it, and here I am using it in my YouTube video. Anyway, hopefully I do this right and it butts up against the time when I actually start talking on the video. If not, I'm sorry that you have to sit here for the silence because I forgot to plug the mic in. Sorry about that. Okay, so I just turned it on. So when you comment, as I always say, please comment. Almost dropped it. There we go. Okay. So please comment, subscribe, and like the video. Please comment, subscribe, and like the video. Again, I need to trying to find out, especially what type of fear videos I should be putting out, and kind of really help those that are really participating. And the way you participate is by liking, subscribing to the videos. So again, I got my mic on. This one hooks directly to the computer, but it is wireless. So I'll get a little bit more about that in another video. So getting back to this one, the fear about spending a lot of money and freezing to death, basically. Not freezing to death, but you know what I want to pause to about this too. Pray for those, and if you have something that you can give to those, pray for those that are out there without a home and cannot get into shelters. Pray that they find some place warm in these times. Pray that they have a hot meal to eat in these times. These days, a lot of people are angry for what I have no idea. A lot of people have a lot of hate in their heart. Why? I have no idea. As this is in the Bible, once your heart gets blackened, you better start praying for forgiveness and getting that heart back to loving. This world should not be about hate. It shouldn't be about racism. It shouldn't be about a religion, hating. It shouldn't be about any of that stuff. And especially in these days, it shouldn't be any warring. It's cold outside. There's going to be people dying. There's enough money. There's enough material. God provided this to us to help those in need. Like I said, me and my family, we give, we donate charity time. As a matter of fact, and usually, like I said, usually I don't say this type of stuff, but we went to a event, and it was for the Jack and Jill event that was held to make blankets to keep people warm, and our our child participated in that. So again, pray for those that do not have, and pray for those that are out in this cold looking for shelter. So getting back to what I was saying about why I'm making this video. Okay, so I'm gonna give like 10, I'm gonna give 10 things that you could do during this cold wintry season to keep your heating bill low and to keep warm. So the first thing, to keep your electric and your furnace well, make sure you have a professional come out, especially for your furnace, and clean it out. Make sure you have good filters. Change out your filters. You always change your filters out every 3 months or so, because the more dirt in that filter, the more that goes into the house. But also it strains the blower. And when it's filled with fog, it helps with the decrease the flow of air, which makes the furnace cool more and makes the floor more active and effective. So clean that out. Keep it clean stuff. And that will reduce the money going out to have furnace repair, which is great because of it. So that's number one. Uh, and also, like I said, clean your, I said clean your furnace. And then the second thing was service your appliances. Uh, Make sure that your refrigerator, your stove, clean underneath it. Clean where that the motor is in the refrigerator, because it does collect dirt and dust. Try to make sure you try to sweep, especially sweep under there. One year I think I forgot, and I went for 2 years, and I pulled the refrigerator out like clean under it. A lot of dust, and I could tell that my motor was straining because after I cleaned it out, it sounded the refrigerator started to sound a little bit better. But yeah, clean that stuff out. Your gas dryer, your electric dryer, make sure that filter is always cleaned out. Try to get a vacuum and go down that where your lint is collected. Clean it out as well as the hose that blows all that lint outside. Clean that out. Make sure your outside vent cover where all the dust and stuff goes out. Make sure that's cleaned out. At a rental, when the furnace had went out, had the furnace guy come out and told me, and as he was cleaning that, I was walking the yard, and as I went past the vent where the lint comes out outside, it was just a big, I mean, just a big ball, like right near the outlet. And I pulled it out, and I thought it was maybe an animal or something stuck in it. Pulled it out, it was just a bunch of lint that was just collecting there. And then I went back inside the house, pulled the vent thing out, looked into the vent hole. There was buildup in there because it couldn't go out the door or out that exit hole. I pushed that out. You will notice sometimes if your clothes are still moist, that's because that hole is blocked. That's that exhaust uh, tube. It allows all that moisture and stuff to go out. It has to be cleared out, otherwise your gas dryer, electric dryer will not function properly and will cause a lot of strain, which will cause your electric bill to go up or your gas bill to go up because it's trying to produce more heat to dry those clothes because the exhaust is plugged. So make sure that's clean. So those are two things. Seal all of your air leaks. I've seen some guys come around with those thermal cameras, and they'll go along the walls and stuff to see if there's any, how can I say, if it's blue, there's no heat there. So they try to then put some sealant or ice, can't even get out, insulation in that area to get the heat from or the cold from coming into the house. Cracks, anything like that, they'll use that caulk to caulk those holes up so there's no air coming in through a hole from outside into your house. Make sure all that's done. Try to do this way before winter comes. If you're, again, this is if you're, I mean, even if you're not in a cold climate state, but this is more for if you're in a cold climate state. Make sure your home is sealed uh, so that cold air will not come in. Because if that's the case, again, your furnace is working harder, which means your bill is going to go up. So try to make sure you do that. Another thing is cover the windows. Cover all your windows. If you have an old home, those windows are going to have some type of leak in them. You got to glaze them back up, and I'll probably put a video out there to show you what I'm talking about. But the newer windows that have the thermal paint and have the gas in it, that gas does leak out over time, and that added uh, thermal insulation in the window that you have in there with that gas, it's gone. So now the air is just coming through. Windows, the more windows you have in your house, I'm sorry, you're going to have a lot of air coming in. It does not matter. That's why you got to put that plastic seal over them to prevent it. And you'll see, you'll put that plastic seal over your window and it'll push out because there's air coming in, some type of gap coming in, and that's why it bubbles out because there's air coming in. If you put it on the outside, you'll see it sucking into the window because it's like a vacuum. It's trying to pull air in, and there's air being pushed up against that plastic, but it can't go anywhere because that plastic films over it. So it's a vacuum effect. So make sure all your windows are covered. Some people, instead of putting the plastic over the windows, they'll put a heavy blanket or a heavy sheet or heavy cover, something like that, and that really does block a lot of that cold air from coming in. And you could go online and look at some people that do that. But now I've tried it one time in an older when we had uh, when I lived somewhere else in an older house, and it really does work. It really does work. Another thing, lower the thermostat. If you lower your thermostat, you're not going to get as much heat. Blankets. Put your blanket on. Put some nice thick socks on. Some people even put a hat on in their house. I don't think I would go that far to where I have to put a hat on. The blankets I would do, even if it's warm at times. I know my wife and my child, they'll uh, put a blanket on, and I won't, and I'll be sitting there looking at them like, "But it's warm." They just like to be toasty, so we have blankets all around the house. They'll even put it on during the summertime. I don't get it. They'll go, "Oh, it's hot in here," and they'll turn the air up and they'll put a blanket on. Like, what the? Well, yeah. So lower your thermostat and start putting some blankets on. The sixth thing that I would say, I think I'm past six, but the sixth thing that I would say is, uh, if you have a fireplace, close that outlet. Only if you're not using it. If you're using your fireplace, then this won't apply to you because that the gases have to go out somewhere. That the flute. That's what I was thinking of. Close the flute. But if you do not use your fireplace, it's basically just there to look at, and and some people have a fake fire in there. They'll have like a electric fake electric picture going in there. It's just for decorations. Close that flute. If it's not producing heat, close it. Even some people, my brother has a fireplace and it's the fake one, and it's electric heat coming out of it, but it looks like it's a fire. So the flute in his is closed. What else? Or get a cover, one of those glass covers on your fireplace that will prevent the air from coming in. Then you don't have to worry about the flute being open because that glass shield will kind of block it. And if you have the glass shield to protect, you have kids, it protects the kids from putting their hands into the fire. If you have a real wood or gas fireplace. I think that was six or seven. Use a humidifier. Humidifiers do cause humidity, like in the summertime when they're like, "Oh, it's hot and humid." The humidity causes like a heat. I can't think of the word, but it causes heat, and that'll heat your house up. So turn that up, and on top of that, when you do that, when you get a humidifier, I've got an issue with dry skin. The humidifier will also reduce the dry skin. It would reduce bleeding noses when your nose dries up. It reduces that. When winter time comes, I know a lot of people have a lot of bloody noses, runny bloody noses because the weather's cold out and it messes with your sinus cavities. So a humidifier is really really good. I'll say nine. I lost count. I'm sorry. Strategically open and close your blinds. And why is that, you may think? So when I go to shovel my driveway, walkways, whatever it is, I always do it closer to like 11 o'clock in the closer to afternoon, because that's when the sun is out and it just melts. Like if I don't get a really good shovel where it's like I get all the ice and stuff off the ground, As long as I get that top layer off by noon, the sun's out, it melts all that ice and stuff. And you could go outside and see when, even when it's cold like today, I I didn't go out and shovel or anything. There was a very light amount of snow on top of the driveway and the walkway, and it melted it. The snow actually melted. So, like I said, back to the strategically opening and closing your blinds. If you open them during that time, you'll let the heat come in. It's that or not thermal, the greenhouse effect. I think it's, put it that way. It's a greenhouse effect. You open those blinds and let that sun come in, and it'll also naturally heat your house up. That all these ideas will save you money, save energy, and help you stay warm. So I'll give you a bonus. Not only can you get your blankets. Oh, I covered my mic. Sorry about that. Like I do. Not only do blankets are very effective and warm and toasty, and if you get the soft ones, they might put you to sleep. And I know a lot of people like the heavy blankets as well because they say those keep you warm and toasty. But if you get a blanket that's an electric blanket, it's it doesn't use as much electricity as an electric heater, nor will you have the fear of leaving it on because all these electric blankets have an automatic shut off. You could you might forget to leave it on and you walk away, then you go to bed or whatever it may be. It'll shut itself off. So there's really no fear in having an electric blanket and your house catching on fire. Can it happen? Yes, it can happen. So make sure you shut it off and make sure you use it wisely. Make sure you don't just drag it around the house because they do break rather easy if you don't maintain them well. And what else can I say? I do not use oh, another bonus. So when was in my single life in my house prior to here, I had a sliding glass window and one of those fake balconies outside of my bedroom. So a patio door window. So as you know, with the patio door windows, a lot of cold air gets in those things. A lot. So I had during the winter time, I would put up the plastic, and then I would put up a heavy blanket, and that like cut 50% of my cold in my room. And it was always just my bedroom because of that patio door window or patio door glass, whatever you want to call it. What was the patio sliding glass? And that window was just cutting through that thing, and it was an older patio door. I think I got it replaced later on. So what I did also, this is a bonus, I bought one of those oil filled, and I'll put a picture of it. I put one of those oil filled radiator looking heaters on. No flame. It just heats the oil, and then the oil radiates, or the heated oil radiates the heat inside of the room. So what I would do, I kept my heat, I think it was down to 65 because I was on a budget. It was down to 65 when I was at home. When I wasn't at home, I kept it at 60, I think it was. But anyway, so I would get home. I was I was warm enough to where I would come home, uh, get under my blanket, and I would watch TV. And I had a great blanket, but I lost it. I don't know what happened. I lost it in the transition of moving and stuff. Anyway, getting back to the oil-filled heater. So I had bought one of those, put it in the bedroom, and I would turn it on maybe 20 to 30 minutes before I was going to go to bed. Turn on my ceiling fan, to pull the heat up, and I shut my bedroom door. So by the time that I had to go to bed, yeah, by the time I had to go to bed, the room was, I mean, just warm, totally warm. I'm talking. This is the first night that I did it. I think I was sweating in the room, so I had to turn it down, the heat down. I mean, it just changed my life. It really did. So I realized that I could sleep. I could turn my heat down at night because all the heat was in my bedroom. I could turn the heat down, and I think I turned it down to like 60. I think I had it down to 60 degrees, like as if I wasn't home. And my room was just warm. The upstairs wasn't as that big. It was just two bedroom, one bath. So I would in the morning I would wake up nice and toasty. The minute I open that door, just that cold air just hits you in the face. Go into the restroom, and as we all know, you had to run your water little bit before you took a shower, because otherwise you get cold water. And I would turn the water on, brush my teeth. By the time all this was done, that heat from the master bedroom and the heat from the water from the shower and the humidity from that room warmed up that whole entire upstairs, all from that radiant heater. And my ex too, with my ceiling fan pulling the heat up. It was just it was great. I would just get hit with a burst of cold air, right, like I said, right when I opened up my bedroom door. And it was good for me because it woke me up, because half the time I wake up, oh, I'm sleepy. And then when that cold air hits you, you're like, whoa, it wakes you up, gets you ready for the day. And that heat lasted, I don't know how long it would last, because by the time I took my shower, got dressed, and went downstairs, it was still warm up there. I mean, it was starting to warm up the staircasing going down to the main rooms downstairs. So those little radiant heaters, oil filled radiant heaters, they're nice. To be honest with you, I have never heard of any fire happening with them. I do believe some of them have an automatic shut off, but I always make sure that I shut mine off. I hooked mine up to a light switch in the bedroom, that when I turn that light switch off, everything was off. So if I forgot to turn that radiant heater on, it's off. And it was independent from the light switch that turned the lights on. So I had two ways of making sure that that thing was off, by either turn it off manually or turn it off by that light switch. So one of the two, I knew I always had it shut off. So like I said, I never heard of any house burning down from them. I've never heard of any kid getting hurt playing around them. They do get hot though, but I don't think too many kids would play with it, because there's nothing. How can I put it? There's nothing shiny or fancy about them. It's just this old looking, like those old, uh, uh, like when you used to go into the old homes and you saw those grill looking heaters. Uh, that's how it looks. And like I said, I'll show you a picture. Put a picture at the end of the video. But other than that, those are my tips for saving money, cost, tips on keeping warm, and breaking the fear of seeing your money just just flow like water out of your pocket because of this cold time of the season. Winter winter takes its toll not only in your pocketbook, but it takes a toll on your body and all the material things you own, your automobile, your home. Once this cold hits, it hits and it freezes things. And maybe not maybe, but in a future video, I will talk about the fear of what the cold does to your automobiles as well as your home. But with that all being said, I want to say thank you for listening. Don't forget to, yes, subscribe, like, and comment. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And last thing that I have to say is, again, pray for those that are out there in this cold weather. It's not fun. So I'm just going to say, God, please watch out for those outside. Keep them warm and keep them safe. Please provide some food for nourishment and to help them also stay warm. Please help them to find some shelter, Lord. I ask and pray in their stead. Please, Father. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. And with all that, thank you for watching. Till the next video. See ya.